You open your laptop. Maybe it's a Tuesday morning. Maybe you're half awake with a coffee going cold on your desk. And then the notification drops. Your favorite artist just announced a tour. And for like 3 seconds, everything is great. The dopamine hits. You're already imagining yourself there, front section, singing every word back at the stage. And then you go to buy the ticket. And suddenly, it's $487. For a seat that, if you squint at the venue map, is technically in the floor section but is also somehow in the back third of the arena, behind a speaker stack, next to a structural pillar, and definitely not where you'd stand if you were paying $487 for something. And you sit there, staring at that number, doing that thing where you tell yourself maybe it's a mistake. Maybe you clicked the wrong tier. You refresh the page. You try a different browser. You open the app. And every single time, $487. Plus a $34 service fee. Plus a $6 facility charge. Plus, I don't know, a $4 fee that nobody can explain. And now you're at $531. For a Tuesday night in March. In Cleveland. Here's the thing, I'm Nick, and I have spent a genuinely embarrassing number of hours thinking about money, pricing psychology, and why the gap between what something costs and what we're eventually charged for it has become one of the defining financial frustrations of modern life. Like, not just concert tickets, although concert tickets are perfect, almost beautifully maddening case study, but the broader phenomenon of how industries quietly restructure their economics in ways that feel, to the average person just trying to have a good time, completely and utterly incomprehensible. What I want to do today is actually explain it. Not just complain about it, although we'll do some of that too, because honestly it deserves it, but trace the real machinery underneath these prices. Because once you understand why your ticket costs $500, something interesting happens. You stop feeling like a victim of randomness and start seeing the system for what it is. And weirdly, that knowledge is kind of freeing. It changes how you decide what's worth paying for and what isn't. It changes the way you navigate these purchases. And maybe most importantly, it helps you understand a really fundamental truth about modern markets that applies to way more than just concerts. So let's actually get into it. Let's start at the very beginning, because I think there's a foundational misunderstanding that a lot of people carry into this whole experience. When a concert is announced and the face value of a ticket is listed as, let's say, $75, that number has almost nothing to do with what the experience is worth, what it costs to produce, or what the market will bear. That $75 is, basically a political number. It's a number chosen for a reason, and the reason isn't transparency. Here's the thing, artists, even enormous, stadium-filling artists, have historically been very protective of their public image. And there's a long-standing belief in the music industry that fans feel betrayed when ticket prices are too high. Like, there's a psychological contract between a musician and their audience that goes something like, I make the music, you support me, and we keep this thing accessible enough that it doesn't become a rich people-only experience. So for decades, artists and their management would set face value prices at relatively modest levels. A $75 ticket. Maybe $95 for the good floor sections. And then, basically immediately, the secondary market, scalpers, brokers, eventually platforms like StubHub, would list those same tickets for $300, $400, $600. The real market price would reveal itself instantly. And the artist would kind of shrug and say, well, we priced it fairly. And technically they did. But the money, the hundreds of dollars between face value and the actual sale price, that's called economic surplus, and it wasn't going to the artist, or the venue, or anyone in the production. It was going to whoever was fast enough, or connected enough, to grab tickets early and resell them. This went on for a long time. And eventually, the industry looked at this and thought, why are we leaving all that money on the table?